News tonight, Governor Soludo renews vow to run an open government that will ensure positive change and development. More communities benefit from massive road infrastructural development of Governor Soludo. INEC begins training of critical election staff nationwide ahead of general elections. From the foreign scenes, the Israel judicial reform plans draw mass protests outside parliament. Good evening and welcome to the news. Before the news in detail, here's a special message. Governor Chukwuma Soludo has come for a total turnaround maintenance of the Anambra State economy and promotion of core Igbo values. Let's give him maximum support for the task ahead. My name is Uche Chukwu Ebonam. Governor Soludo has assured to continue the enforcement and implementation of the disruptive changes targeted towards transforming the state into being livable and prosperous as contained in his manifesto. The governor gave the assurance during his quarterly engagement with Anambra on Anambra Broadcasting Service live radio and TV program Chat with Mr. Governor. Government House correspondent Valentine Badawa reports that the chat, which lasted for over 2 hours, allowed Anambra to have a direct link with Governor Soludo reporting situations within their areas and as well suggested ways to tackle some challenges.
He called during the program to commend Governor Soludo's giant strides in the areas of security, health, road infrastructure, human capital development and education. Activities of the status within the state were reported also by the callers. Governor Soludo during the chat assured to continue running an open government to allow the people to contribute towards the progress of the state through their ideas. He emphasized that his government is committed to making Anambra livable and prosperous through the enthronement of positive changes that will facilitate development. Governor Soludo promised to be more aggressive on touts and called on people to always report any activity related to that for immediate action. Speaking on the issue of persons living with disability, Governor Soludo says the plans are underway to approach their issue more systematically, targeting thousands of them across the state. In the education sector, the governor emphasized that technology will be deployed to check performance and promised more efforts to redefine the education system in line with global standard practice. The governor also expressed his eagerness to enthrone local government autonomy, saying that when the community and the local government works, the state will work better. He thanked Anambra for the audience and input, which he said helps in policy formulation. The chat was in keeping with his promise to engage Anambra every quarter to keep people abreast with government's programs, projects and policies, and for feedback.
If Basa security, yes, governor of state, but the chief security officer.
Right, moving on to other stories. The candidate of the All Progressives Grand Alliance, APGA, for Anambra Central Senatorial District, Honorable Dozie Nwankwo, has enjoined the electorate in the Senatorial District to align themselves with the party by voting for APGA candidates in the February 25th and March 11th general elections. This, he explained, will give the state government representatives of the people at the State and National Assembly one voice, which in turn would translate into speedy development of the state. Honorable Nwankwo, who is representing Jikoka, Anocha and Dunukofia Federal Constituency, made the call during his campaign tour of Aba and Enugu communities in Njikoka local government areas and Nogo community in Dunukofia local government area. Our correspondent, Chibuzo Obdike, tells us more.
The lawmaker was also received with songs of joy in Uhuru, Ifitedunu, Umudioka, Umunachi, Nofia, and Ukwe communities. Addressing the people of the areas, Honorable Nwankwo pointed out that there is a great gain for the state in ensuring that individuals who represent them at the federal level are of the same political parties in the state, for them to synergize with the present administration to bring home more developmental projects. He said that the state has received little or no interventions from the federal government because of the disunity among political parties elected at the state and federal levels, and pointed out that with the set of credible legislative candidates of APGA in the forthcoming elections, the state is in the right path for positive and speedy development.
So because
At Umunachi, a community stakeholder, Engineer Zimuzo Odogwu, and the Managing Director of Anambra Road Transport Management Agency, ATMA, Mr. Emeka Okonkwo, vouched for Honorable Nwankwo's quality leadership style and assured the community that they will be the pointer between their needs and Honorable Nwankwo, promising to deliver him and other ABGA candidates in the February 25th and March 11th general election.
Onye ọchịchị ya metụrụ Umunachi ọfụma. Dozie bụ mmadụ kwenye na youth, mmadụ kwenye na human capital development. Bụrụ na onye lọrụ si anya 1 naira. The only way you pay him back is to help others. Slogan Dozie na abụ help others when you can.
Speaking at Nofia, the Anambra State Commissioner for Budget and Economic Planning, Mrs. Chiamaka Ndake, and the Chief of Protocol to the Governor, Mr. Chinedu Nwoye, appreciated the electorate for their confidence in APGA and reminded them of the promises of the Soludo administration, which they said can only be achieved with the partnership of the right people, a reason to vote APGA during the upcoming elections.
From beginning to the end.
At Ukpo, the mood was the same as youth under the umbrella body of the Integrity G30 men. Ukpo, through one of their members, Somto Okafor, revealed the instrumentality of Honorable Nwankwo in turning the lives of many unemployed young persons in the area and assured the federal lawmaker of their unflinching support at the election. Honorable Nwankwo, on arrival at each of the communities, received royal blessings from the traditional rulers of the towns and charged them to help make the needed change in the senatorial districts. From Ukpo, Chibuzo Bidike, ABS News.
Governor Soludo has flagged off construction of 2.14 kilometers Igwe Ezechi Okoye Road in Dunukofia local government area. Correspondent Valentine Badawa reports that the traditional rulers, President General, people of Dunukofia all came out in their numbers to receive the governor.
Performing the function at Ifiteduno, Governor Soludo inspected the level of work as the construction has already begun and some degree of progress already recorded by Master Holdings Construction Company. Addressing the people of Dunukofia, Governor Soludo emphasized that more development will come to Dunukofia as he projected the siting of an export emporium with Dunukofia as part of his plans to grow the state economy.
I am the Anambra. Then they clear the clean I will a state. And we must continue to make it a state.
On their part, the Transition Committee Chairman of Dunukofia Local Government Area, Mr. Augustine Onyemobi, and the MD/CEO of Anambra State Road Traffic Management Agency, ATMA, Engineer Emeka Okonkwo, while thanking Governor Soludo for the project and other empowerments and support to Dunukofia, promised to ensure APGA wins all through in the forthcoming general elections.
Today, we are here. This road is the program. Thank you, Mr. Governor. Mr. Governor, Dunukofia, Okonkwo, Nkembo, Ekene. Mr. Governor, Ekene, this road is one. I got Google come 25th of February and March 11th. Because we have very competent candidates.
The Commissioner for Lands, Professor Ofonze Amujaze, and the MD/CEO of Anambra State Investment Promotion and Protection Agency, ANSIPA, Mr. Mark Okoye, who commended the zeal and political will of Governor Soludo in making Anambra livable and prosperous, assured of being partners in progress. They called on their people to galvanize support for APGA candidates to establish good partnership between the executive and legislative arms as well as those in the parliament.
I need you, Pantia. Could I get to Pantia? Or it shall and the APGA House of Assembly, House of Reps, and Senate.
Handing over of the site certificate to the contractor climaxed the event.
Governor Soludo has flagged off the construction of a community road at Mbauku, Oka South local government area. The road beginning from St. Lawrence Anglican Church to Ngenemiri Shrine to EU to Castream to Ogadavile Square down to Igwe Mbauku Road will be completed within a month. Correspondent Valentine Badewa reports.
Governor Soludo has flagged off the construction of a community road at Mbuku, Oka South local government area. The road beginning from St. Lawrence Anglican Church to Ngenemiri Shrine to Iyi Utoka Stream to Ogada Village Square down to Igwe Mbuku Road will be completed within 1 month. Speaking at Mbuku during the flag-off, Governor Soludo promised prudence, transparency, and accountability in managing the resources of Anambra State. He assured to transform Oka into a befitting capital and asked the people of Oka South for continuous partnership.
The more than commensurate to vote unu nyelai. Mana anyị na-ayọzi unu na nke na-abịa kịta anyị na-atụ anya na unu ga-emekali.
The Deputy Governor, Dr. Onyekachukwu Ibezim, who was on ground to receive Governor Soludo, described him as a man of vision and courage. He assured that the people of Mbuku and Oka South in general will not relent in making positive contributions towards his administration.
Mr. Governor, ebe anyị nọ, ọ na-awụ ha sụrụ ana votu ebe ebili ọkụkụ mba okwu niile eje okwu. Ọ ka maka olu na onwe unu aka. Unu anyị mapụ ya ọzọ ka unu na-ere mmiri.
The traditional ruler of Mbuku, Igwe Peter Anugu, commended Governor Soludo's progress within 10 months and asked him to sustain the tempo as Anambra indeed needs more of such milestone. The Commissioner for Works, Engineer Ifeanyi Okoma, Chief of Staff to the Governor, Mr. Ernest Ezajoge, among others, were present during the flag-off.
It was a moment of reunion and homecoming as members of Alumni Association, Accountancy Department, Nnamdi Azikiwe University, Oka, all converged to be part of their first ever Alumni Converge. The maiden edition of the album coverage of the Alumni Accountancy Department UNIZIC also featured special recognition on the pioneer head of the department, Professor Benjamin Osisioma. Correspondent Ngozi Obileri tells us more.
By alumni members of the department from the 1996 set, the event brought together other academics from the school who are excelling in different fields of endeavor. Speaking at the event, the Vice Chancellor of Nnamdi Azikiwe University, Professor Charles Esimone, represented by the Deputy Vice Chancellor Academics, Professor Frederick Odibo, recalled that the university had organized a valedictory for Professor Osisioma as once a member of Governing Council of the school and for his numerous contributions to the growth of the institution, saying that it goes a long way to show how dear he is to the school management and accountancy department.
He will not be forgotten for his leading role in pioneering the establishment and growth of the Department of Accountancy.
Opportunity must meet preparation. Let perseverance be your goal and motto. Talent provides hope for success, but only perseverance guarantees it. The change agent is in having the staying power. Perseverance means succeeding because you are determined to, not just because you are destined to.
Mr. James Neminabo, who is the Vice President, Association of National Accountants of Nigeria, ANAN, in a remark said, in honor of the first president of the ANAN, Professor Osisioma, that the association would partner with the department in building the proposed Professor Benjamin Chuk Osisioma Resource Management Information System MIS Center in the school. In an address, the head of Accountancy Department, UNIZIC, Dr. Chitom John Akamelo, said that the event was long overdue, a reason why she employed the help of everyone in the department to organize it, describing Professor Osisioma as an asset to the school, the department and the world at large, who rendered selfless services as a lecturer and a man of God.
And I'm urging my students to stand out and create a niche of themselves, to make themselves celebrated.
What is happening today is what we should actually learn to do more, so that the younger ones can learn that there's a lot of virtue in doing the right things.
The event featured presentation of the award of Doing of Accounting on Professor Osisioma, award of Good Governance and Community Development on Honorable Chuma Okoye, representing Oka South 2 at Anambra State House of Assembly, Excellent Service and Prestigious Award on Obi of Nnewichi, Obi George Onyekaba, various categories of awards on stakeholders in the department, and presentation of award to the HOD of the department, Dr. Chitom, by the 1996 set of the Alumni Association. In Oka, I am Ngozi Obileri for ABS News.
Umuochiogo Kindred of Obag Village in a North local government area has elected a new executive to pilot its affairs for the next 3 years. The election held at the Kindred Hall was supervised by the election committee chairman, Mr. Edoche Obiekwe, and attracted members of the Kindred and at home and diaspora. Correspondent Blessing Uchendo has details.
New executive members who were elected unopposed include Chief Frank Abogo, who became the new chairman, Nathan Obikwelo, vice chairman, Emenike Atuebunam, secretary, and Chima Okonkwo, assistant secretary. Others are Jidofo Meligo, financial secretary, Luke Ogudo, treasurer, Patrick Okoyato, publicity and social director, Ekene Akunne, provost 1, and Arebunem Okafo as provost 2. Addressing the new executive, the election committee chairman, Mr. Obiekwe, commended the composure and maturity exhibited by Umuochiogo Kindred before, during, and after the election, which he described as peaceful and one of its kind in the history of the family.
The way the whole team went, I thank God it's not by our own might. God made it to go that way. We've already addressed them that they then try and do as much they can, if possible, to do more than the past executive. We can't leave problems. Problems will continue coming. It's the way we handle problems, the way we handle issues as matured men. Problems must be coming once we are leaving. So I've still addressed them personally, more especially the chairman.
In his acceptance speech, the chairman-elect, Chief Abogo, expressed gratitude to God and the entire people of their kindred for finding him worthy to serve them, assuring that he would, in collaboration with other members of the executive, work hard in moving Umuochiogo to greater heights.
Ayon na kwa kunu kene no jaba. Ngoro kobo. Pota dolo mocho. Amana mangesi we potia mo we bo neje.
For the past chairman, Chief Ikenna Obika, the support given to him and his team was the force behind all their achievements, while expressing happiness that the election ended in peace. Some stakeholders in the community, Chief Ikechukwu Abogo, Dr. Michael Nnalwe, and Sir Innocent Okafor, said the new executive members deserve their positions as they have proven themselves worthy of honor through their good deeds and assured them of their unalloyed support throughout their tenure for a greater Umuochiogo kindred.
To the glory of God, I built all you can see here, okay? And of course, I would want a situation where there's this structure legacy left us that's properly handled, okay? The scholarship scheme we have within the kindred is properly administered.
The new executive members later swore oath of office administered on them by a member of the election committee, Dr. Michael Nnalwe, and was witnessed by the former director, Ministry of Local Government, Community Development and Chieftaincy Affairs in Anambra State, Princess Chinyelo Anelo, among others. From Mre, Anocha Council area, Blessing Uchendo, ABS News.
Still to come in the news tonight, INEC begins training of critical election staff nationwide ahead of general elections. Israel judicial reform plans draw mass protests outside Parliament. Governor Chukwuma Soludo has come for a total turnaround maintenance of the Anambra State economy and promotion of core Igbo values. Let's give him maximum support for the task ahead. The news returns immediately after the short break.
My guy, my brother, my blood. E no get wetin fall from sky, we ground no fit carry. We have been through a lot, and we still stand strong. If you remember, together we overcame monsters, battled the darkness, and even survived loss. But we became unbreakable, unstoppable. So guy, shake off the bad vibe. Face the world with your full chest. Because this life, forget, you and me, now we go run out.
Back to the rest of the news. The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has commenced training of 3,353 critical election duty staff nationwide to boost operations on election day. The training, which is to ensure optimal operation, particularly with the bimodal voter accreditation system, BVAS, according to the chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, Professor Yakubu Mahmood, involves additional 70 supervisory presiding officers to counter breaches that may arise during elections. Abuja correspondent Ekuyachide has details.
The INEC chairman who revealed this in an interview with journalists on Saturday shortly after inspecting the training center in Abuja said the training is aimed at re-strategizing the credibility of the electioneering management while boosting the capability of duty staff with a modern device to guarantee an acceptable outcome for the 2023 general elections in the country.
This is a further assurance and reassurance to Nigerians of the readiness of the Commission to conduct the election on the 25th of February and the 11th of March. The staff who will be deployed to the field to conduct the elections are being trained, not only in the FCT, but also in all the states nationwide. And you have seen it. And each one of them has been given a copy of the training manual. So the training manual will be taken away. They can now use the opportunity to review and refresh and revise the notes they have taken during training.
The Director General of the Electoral Institute, Dr. Saad Omar Idris, who described the training as a critical stage, noted that getting the entire process right requires training and retraining of duty staff to ensure a hitch-free exercise at the polling units. He said the trainers are expected to show full commitment to equipping the staff with the requisite knowledge of the BVAS operations. The two-day training activity is aimed at providing a practical approach to learning the functionality of the BVAS, even as a learning management system has also been uploaded on the INEC website for online education.
I think having the combined theoretical and practical aspect, or the practical simulation, provides the SPOs the opportunity to have like an all-round worldview of the entire electoral process. Then, closely followed by this 14 to 16, will be followed by the training of the presiding officers and the presiding officers. And these people who are training now at the first level, today and tomorrow, are going to take them through that training at the 36 states and FCT.
In Abuja, Princess Ekwi Ajide reporting.
The Catholic Bishops' Conference of Nigeria has converged in Abuja, Nigeria's capital city, for its first plenary for the year 2023. The week-long meeting tagged Citizens' Participation in Good Governance in Nigeria is geared towards praying for free, fair and peaceful elections in Nigeria and is attended by bishops and archbishops of all dioceses in Nigeria. The bishops were led in a Holy Mass at St. Gabriel's Chaplaincy, Durumi, Abuja, by the President of the Catholic Bishops' Conference of Nigeria, Archbishop Lucius Ugoji, who prayed for Nigerians and a peaceful election come 23rd February. Correspondent Ekuyachide was there and now reports.
In a homily, the Archbishop of Abuja, Most Reverend Ignatius Kaigama, said the theme of the conference reflects the bishops' sensitivity to the great desire of the majority to shape the political future of the country. He urged the citizenry to choose leaders who know the aches and pains of the common man and can transcend narrow religious and ethnic boundaries to work selflessly to lift Nigerians from the condition of strangulating poverty and frustration to better levels. Most Reverend Kaigama charged bishops, priests and Catholics to remain resolute in speaking out against social injustice, as they cannot remain neutral before the pains caused by acts of injustice. According to him, corruption has bedeviled the country to the extent that one needs to give a bribe to receive anything, whereas only 3 persons in Nigeria have more wealth than 83 million Nigerians.
Before these daunting tasks or challenges, we face 2 risks. 1, giving in to hopelessness or despair. And 2, to compromise our values and end up with leaders who were never intended by God nor elected by men.
In Abuja, Princess Ekwi Ajide reporting.
On the foreign scenes, tens of thousands of Israelis are protesting outside the parliament against controversial judicial reform plans which have divided the country. Israel has seen some of its biggest demonstrations in years since the plans were unveiled last month. If passed, they will curb the Supreme Court's power and give the government more say over judicial appointments. Israel's own President Isaac Herzog warned that the country's was on the verge of constitutional and social collapse. Critics say it would undermine democracy. The government argues the reforms will strengthen it. Monday's demonstrations are the latest in weekly mass protests against the reforms. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says that the current system, where laws passed by an elected parliament can be overturned by the Supreme Court, is undemocratic. Among the planned reforms, the ability of the Supreme Court to strike down laws will be severely weakened. A simple majority in the Knesset will also have the power to override court rulings. The reforms would also give the government more influence over the committee which appoints judges, including the Supreme Court. And from the world of sports, Team Nigeria's rising star, Favour Ofili, ran a race of her life as the Tyson Invitational to reset virtually all her records in the women's 200 meters event. Favour Ofili won the race in a time of 22.36 seconds, which is a new personal best for her and a lead time in the American National Collegiate Athletics Association time of 2023. She won ahead of 2 Americans, Talita Dix, who crossed the line in 22.61 seconds, and Kinadi Flanners, who placed 3rd with a time of 23.05 seconds. Before now, Ofili is silver medalist in 400 meters at the 2019 African Games. Also in April 2022, ran 2.93 seconds in the 100 meters at the LSU Invitational in Baton Rouge, Los Angeles, to become the first female NCAA athlete to run sub 22 seconds and sub 11 seconds. Before we go, remember that you can follow news and programs on ABS TV from many parts of the world by liking our Facebook at ABS Radio Television Oka. Follow us on YouTube at ABS Television Oka. And also on our YouTube, Instagram at ABS Radio TV. Log on to our website at www.absradiotv.com. And now the main points that made the news tonight. Governor Soludo has renewed vow to run an open government that will enthrone positive change and development. More communities have benefited from massive road infrastructural development of Governor Soludo. INEC begins training of critical election staff nationwide ahead of general elections. And finally, we told you from the foreign scenes that Israeli judicial reform plans have drawn mass protests outside Parliament. Governor Chuma Soludo has come for a total turnaround maintenance of the Anambra State economy and promotion of core Igbo values. Let's give him maximum support for the task ahead. My name is Uche Chukwu Ebodam. Thank you so much for staying with us. Be good.